Hey all, here are OS Reviews. As we've been seeing for the past few months now, the TWS wireless bud market is just getting increasingly competitive as more and more brands are entering this space, and perhaps one of the best values I've seen yet here in 2021 belongs to Lenovo's Droplet, which are a pair of ultra lightweight, tiny wireless stereo buds that can be found for as low as 25 bucks on Amazon. So it retails for 50, but there's often a 50% off coupon which can be applied at checkout. So for under $25, that is a crazy price to pay for something that has a pretty reputable brand behind it. Also kind of unique, you can see how it slides outwards to reveal the buds, which is pretty attractive, distinctive from other designs I've seen. Of course, uses the latest Bluetooth 5.0 for good connectivity, supporting codecs like SBC and AAC, although Qualcomm's aptX, of course, won't be supported at this price, and they are touch sensitive. However, you aren't able to raise the volume of the music higher or lower directly on the buds. Again, they're called the droplets because they are ultra lightweight, almost like a water droplet, weighing less than 1.27 ounces. And in terms of the battery, with the casing combined, you get 10 hours when on the road. The buds themselves will last for 4 hours when removed from the case, which are both a little on the shorter side, but considering how tiny these buds and the casing is, as I'll show you guys in a moment, it's still okay. I'll also point out that these have 5.8mm bio diaphragm drivers, which are also an average size for wireless buds these days. The packaging here is quite simple, and one of the interesting things though is it does stamp 233621, which, if you're not aware, is actually also a company that specializes in audio products like headphones and wireless buds of its own. So I have reason to believe that perhaps this is a collaboration between this company, not as well known, but they do make lots of pretty decent quality audio products, with Lenovo, which perhaps doesn't have as much expertise in audio, and so they might be just borrowing some of their engineering team or stamping their name on top. But based on my previous experience with this company's headphones, I have been pretty impressed, and the box here is also eco-friendly, so it should be easy enough to just recycle. And then inside of the packaging here, we have just the quick user guide right on top, along with the Droplet TWS buds, spare silicone tips to get a more custom and snug fit, along with a standard USB Type-C charging cable, and even the packaging back here has also been stamped with the perhaps manufacturer. So taking a closer look at the battery case here, again, it is absolutely tiny, can easily slide into even smaller pockets and jeans. Here they are next to the standard Apple AirPod casing, which you can see are even smaller by comparison to the AirPods, and something like, say, Redmi's AirDots, it's also going to be more compact as well. In fact, if we put it against something like a US quarter, the body here is made out of a polycarbonate plastic, has the Lenovo logo, status LEDs that tell you how much percentage of the battery is remaining, and then just a Type-C charging port on the edge. It can lie completely flat as well as stand upright as well. In terms of opening them up, there is a small ridge that you can just press and apply a little bit of pressure, and you can see it just pops open and reveals the buds, which do have kind of an interesting shape to them almost immediately, we can see, including a section which is touch sensitive, but the body itself has a more elongated shape, kind of like a water droplet. So definitely an interesting design. Pretty surprising, again, for something that's only 25 bucks. Now, of course, they are magnetic, so whenever you open them up, they're not going to accidentally fall out. You can see some of the sliding mechanism. The rails are made out of metal, so it has pretty decent durability as you're opening and closing the case, and it's locked into place using magnets, so overall it feels, again, very well put together for the price. Speaking of the inside of the battery case, once they're popped out, you can see it's what it looks like. Basically, it just reaches the outer shell of the plastic, since the casing here is so small, basically just fits the buds, and that is all the room that it's able to accommodate. So super compact. And as far as taking a look at the buds themselves in a little bit more detail, there is a status LED indication light, as you can see there, that can glow and flash, and the body here is still made out of a polycarbonate plastic but feels pretty solid, doesn't creak or cringe, and overall you have a ergonomic shape as well towards the bottom here that makes them feel quite snug when you're wearing it. Certainly didn't feel loose, comfortable for several hours of music listening without adding too much stress or strain when I was trying them out. Moving into audio quality and performance next, I'm shocked at how good these sound for only 25 bucks. I can confidently say they sound much better than the Redmi AirDots and even better, to be honest, than the original Apple AirPods in terms of the fidelity. You don't hear any hissing, any humming, any static in the background. It's super clean. At the same time, the music just comes alive, for a lack of a better word. There's a lot of bass, so whenever you hear a drum beat, it kind of kicks, but at the same time never overpowers the mids and trebles. Still plenty of details that you can delineate with singers' vocals. It doesn't sound compressed, it doesn't sound tinny or muffled, even when you're listening to trebles and higher frequency sounds. Instrumentals, acoustics all sound just super clean, lively, almost like you're in a live environment, which I can't really say I've encountered out of pretty much any other pair of buds at this price. Even at $50 or $100, the audio quality here would still be impressive. It's definitely punching above its weight class. Connectivity is also quite strong, so I didn't encounter any disconnections in my testing. I was able to walk around the room within a distance of 10 meters or 33 feet, and you'll be completely fine. The left and right sides were synced together without any issues, never encountered any drops within that range, and at the same time, I was still able to watch videos on YouTube and Netflix while wearing these, and the audio and the video that I was watching was still synced together without any problems. With that being said, these don't have a dedicated low latency gaming mode like some of the more expensive buds we've seen, and also other models again with Qualcomm's aptX. So if you're doing things like gaming, there will still be a little bit more lag compared to other alternatives. These do also have a microphone that you can use to answer phone calls with, but I would suggest staying in a relatively quiet spot, such as indoors, without too much wind, and it can still do okay, but the quality in this regard isn't as good as the AirPods and other STEM-designed wireless buds, which are pointing the mic a little closer to your mouth and also have more advanced technologies built in to cancel out background noises. This is merely basic, so I would say use these primarily for listening to music. So that is more or less it as far as just a very quick hands-on review of the Lenovo Droplets. Again, for this price range, I am actually quite surprised, primarily in two areas. The first is the sound, which again, I can't really iterate just how good they sound for the price. I'm still quite shocked right now. They can make almost any genre of music sound pleasurable. And secondly would be the overall design. The fact that they are definitely very lightweight, super comfortable, but also very distinctive looking. Unlike some of the other cheaper models that we've seen in the past, they definitely stand out in terms of the casing as well as the design of the buds themselves. So overall, very well put together as well, especially if you're looking for something that's ultra compact and tiny. Of course, in terms of if we're being super nitpicky, potential downsides, one of them being that because we have such a small case, obviously the battery life is on the shorter side. So if you want something that is kind of an endurance champion, that's not going to be the case here, but it does charge up very quickly using the Type-C port. A better value, in fact, than again the Redmi AirDots in terms of giving us more detailed sound and pretty much edging out all of its competitors, thanks to this collaboration with Lenovo and, again, 233621.